I believed I could manage it, yet it proved to be overwhelming, a genuine tale of betrayal. It brings me sorrow, as it was challenging to comprehend. A genuine story of relationship struggles, woven with threads of betrayal, unfolds in the tales shared on Reddit. Your presence is deeply valued. Your support is crucial as we strive to engage a substantial number of viewers who have yet to join us, allowing us to continue creating compelling content. We warmly encourage you to subscribe and softly press the notification bell to remain in touch. We eagerly await your thoughts. We invite you to share your city in the comments below, allowing us to bask in the warmth of your presence. Who could have foreseen that a seemingly mundane backyard barbecue would ignite a series of events that would alter the course of everything? Long ago, in an era marked by a sense of freedom and lightness, when responsibilities were fewer and the days stretched out with countless opportunities to relish each fleeting moment, a circle of friends, woven together by the threads of their college days, traverses the intricate tapestry of life, rejoicing in marriages, embracing the arrival of children, and steering through the winding paths of their careers. As the days unfolded, those casual meetups evolved into a beloved tradition, one we tended to with affection, despite the tumult that life frequently cast upon us. Despite the passage of time, our growth, the paths we chose, and the families we nurtured, the bond we shared endured deep and everlasting. On that Saturday evening, reminiscent of countless others that had preceded it, we were wrapped in the comforting embrace of Scott and Andrea's home. The air wrapped around us like a comforting embrace, as the alluring scent of grilled treats wafted through the backyard, intertwining with the cheerful laughter of our children, their voices gently resonating in the distance. It became evident to me that a change had settled in the atmosphere that evening. Maybe it was the way my wife, Gina, would ensnare Logan's gaze, or how his eyes appeared to linger on her just a heartbeat longer than needed. In that instant, I decided to turn a blind eye to it. Logan had been on a path filled with profound feelings. The trials faced by his cherished Rachel a year earlier had transformed him into a mere shadow of the lively man he once was. We had all been investing our souls in his support, softly encouraging him to welcome the path that lay before him. Never did I imagine that stepping into the future would require me to gaze upon my wife with such profound understanding. The subsequent morning emerged in a manner reminiscent of its predecessors. Gina and I treasured our weekend ritual, savoring the moments as we lingered in bed a little longer, sharing a warm shower, and then softly separating to welcome the day that lay before us. Her mornings were often adorned with the gentle embrace of a book or the warmth of laughter shared with friends, while I found myself lost in the rhythmic dance of working on my car in the garage. Yet, that morning, just as I was about to step out, she softly restrained me. "My dear, there is a matter of significance that we must address." Her voice possessed a soft, trembling essence. I turned, a surge of instinct enveloping me, aware that her words would bear a significance I wasn't prepared to shoulder. We remained at the kitchen table, a palpable tension surrounding us. Gina turned her eyes away, her fingers lightly skimming the edge of her coffee mug, embodying a subtle unease. "Last night, Logan finally shared a secret with me." I offered a gentle nod. "What thoughts are swirling in your mind?" She drew in a deep breath, relishing the experience. "He senses a readiness to step back into the realm of dating once again." A gentle wave of serenity washed over me. "How delightful! He deserves happiness," she continued, her voice hanging in the atmosphere. "He feels an undeniable pull towards someone, a figure who has held his heart captive for an extended period." Her voice possessed a quality that awakened something profound within me. "Do we know her well?" In that brief moment, as her gaze met mine, a deep sense of understanding enveloped me. "It is I," she whispered gently. Silence enveloped the room. At first, a gentle laugh slipped from my lips, for I thought she was simply jesting. Logan had woven himself into the fabric of our lives for years, a beloved presence we held dear. Though it seemed insurmountable, Gina chose to hold her tongue. Her lips stayed uncurled. At that instant, an epiphany enveloped me. This surpassed Logan's emotions. Everything revolved around her. My heart quickened as I gathered the resolve to ask the question to which I already knew the answer. "Are you contemplating the conclusion of our marriage?" Her eyes glimmered with a trace of urgency. "Not now, Jack," she said. "I long to cherish the bond we share. My heart is irresistibly pulled toward you in ways that words can hardly express. I long to stay connected with you as we navigate this journey of life together." I beheld her, my heart pounding with a blend of awe and desire. "What is this, then?" She reached out her hand to me, but I faltered and pulled back. "Please, just listen to me," she urged. "There are truths I can no longer keep inside." I steeled myself, knowing that the journey ahead would change everything irrevocably. She took a deep breath, her lungs quivering as she readied herself to utter the words again. "It's intriguing how our collective college memories intertwine, while you introduce a refreshing viewpoint to our dynamic," she commenced. I offered a soft nod. In the midst of an English class, Logan and I found our paths intertwining. Our journey commenced, and amidst the unfolding chapters, love flourished between us. We even exchanged our visions of a shared future. An oppressive weight took root inside me. One evening, fueled by a few drinks, Logan and Rachel stumbled upon a decision that would alter the course of their lives forever. I felt a surge of tension. What could it be? They maintained that it was a mistake. My heart ached profoundly, yet I discovered the resilience to extend my forgiveness to them. Months later, Rachel stumbled upon the delicate revelation of her pregnancy. A chill coursed through my veins as the reality started to reveal itself. "Logan chose the path that resonated with his heart," she continued. "He intertwined his existence with Rachel, and I sought to release my grip." Her eyes locked onto mine, shimmering with the weight of unspoken sorrow. And then our journeys converged. Her words wrapped around me like a dense fog. For 2 decades, I remained oblivious to the fact that my wife harbored unresolved feelings for someone from her past, a man I had regarded as one of my dearest friends. Had Rachel not departed from this world, I would have continued in my ignorance. I murmured, tinged with a touch of melancholy. Gina lowered her gaze. "We thought that, if you became aware, it could potentially darken your connection with Logan." A gentle, hollow laugh escaped my lips. "Truly, my heartfelt congratulations are extended to you. It feels fragmented." She paused briefly, yet pressed on with unwavering resolve. "I feel compelled to share this with you, as I have a question that's been on my mind." I steeled myself for the impending events. I found myself pondering how you might react to the notion of us delving into a connection with him as a duo. Time seemed to freeze in that moment. The words hung in the air, wrapping around me with their heaviness. I sprang to my feet, the chair crashing to the floor in my wake. "Shall we forge a connection?" My voice carried an air of incredulity. "Is there another soul that occupies your heart?" "Not exactly, Jack. Permit me a moment to articulate my reflections." I found myself shaking with an overwhelming, all-encompassing fervor. "Do you understand what I'm expressing, Gina?" With a gentle voice, I let my fingers dance around the keys. "I must take my leave before I utter words that I may later regret." As I crossed the threshold, her voice hung in the air, a haunting echo of the words I was leaving behind. I wandered through the streets, my mind adrift, until I found myself standing before Logan's apartment, the surrounding world blurring into insignificance. His car lingered outside, a haunting reminder of the shattered trust that left me reeling. Was this thought sparked by him, or did it arise spontaneously within Gina's mind? My desire for comprehension was overwhelming, and the thought of letting them go was unbearable. I decided to keep my distance from home that night. Once I had packed my suitcase and bid farewell to Gina, I found myself behind the wheel, aimlessly driving for hours, my mind adrift in contemplation. The city enveloped me, streetlights crafting intricate designs of illumination and darkness upon the serene avenues. My thoughts whirled in a tumultuous ballet, ensnared in an unyielding loop of incredulity, exasperation, and grief. How did we arrive at this juncture? For 2 decades, Gina had stood by my side as my partner. We had crafted a life together, nurturing our daughter, intertwining our dreams, and confronting our challenges hand in hand. After all those years spent together, she was now requesting that I embrace an emotional bond she still maintained with another. "He stands apart from all others," Logan. He was a man in whom I had invested my faith. He was a man I cherished as a companion. I brought my truck to a gentle halt in front of a time-worn motel, tucked away on the fringes of town. The neon sign flickered gently above the entrance, casting a warm, inviting red glow over the parking lot. I nestled into the room, the burdens of the day easing as I sank onto the bed, my eyes wandering to the ceiling overhead. Slumber slipped through my fingers. Her words reverberated in my thoughts, prompting me to reevaluate everything. She unveiled emotions she had concealed for years. This sentiment has lingered within me for as long as I can remember. A part of me still carries unresolved feelings for Logan. The words echo with a deep fervor, etching an unforgettable impression. Had she distanced herself from her emotions towards me, maybe the circumstances would have seemed less intricate. Nevertheless, she refrained. She declared her affection for me, yet her heart appeared to be captivated by him too. How could I possibly live up to the burden of what has preceded me? Considering that she was the one who had first fallen in love with Logan, how could I possibly compare? With the first light of dawn, a sense of clarity enveloped me, revealing the path I must take. Engagement in this arrangement was never part of my plans. I could no longer wait for her to decide on the path she wished to take. She had fully accepted her choice. When I returned to the house later that morning, I discovered Gina seated at the kitchen table, awaiting my arrival. A cup of coffee sat silently, waiting, before her. Her eyes shimmered with a gentle warmth, revealing the feelings that had awakened in her during the night. As I stepped inside, our eyes locked, and a flicker of hope brightened her face. Your return has infused the atmosphere with a lingering warmth, awakening profound emotions within. With a delicate touch, I set my keys upon the counter before pivoting to collect the remainder of my possessions. Her expression softened, unveiling a profound well of emotion. Jack, I beseech you. I lifted my hand with a delicate grace. This time, Gina, the focus shifts away from me. You have chosen your path, and now I shall forge my own. She flinched ever so slightly, yet opted for silence. Instead, she tenderly swept the tears from her eyes. Where have you strayed away to? Are you talking about a motel? You might have chosen to stay here, she whispered gently. A gentle, hollow laugh escaped my lips, hanging in the air. As you ponder the delicate dance of your time shared between Logan and me, a thrill of anticipation stirs within me. I subtly shook my head, a tender wave of feeling coursing through me. The moment is not quite right, Gina. The narrative does not progress in that manner. She stared at the table, her fingers clutching the coffee mug as though it were her only lifeline in a tempest of feelings. The mere idea of existing without you is unbearable. What drives you to choose this journey? My voice had taken on a softer quality, stripped of its former anger, now imbued with a gentle weariness. Gentle tears carved fragile trails along her cheeks. He occupies a cherished corner of her heart too. I clenched my jaw, then surrendered to the moments shared with him. She raised her eyes, a spark of fervor igniting within them. It is intricately layered beyond initial appearances. Truly, I asserted with unwavering certainty, it is impossible for you to hold dominion over both of us. I cannot fathom the idea of welcoming this circumstance and permitting another man to intrude upon the closeness I cherish with my wife. Gina, I feel that what you are asking may not be fair to me. True affection must be founded on a foundation of shared respect and comprehension. Her face twisted in a profound, silent torment. Causing you pain was never my intention. In that instance, it may have been wiser to refrain from doing so. She reached out her hand to me, but I stepped back instead. I urge you to take my warning seriously. I find myself grappling with this, Gina. I am unable to do that. The stillness hung in the air, heavy and oppressive. Finally, she released a sound, her voice gentle and fragile, nearly fading into the atmosphere. What follows next? With a deep breath, I filled my lungs with air. At this juncture, we delve into the methods of concluding this chapter. Her lips parted, a gentle gasp slipping free as astonishment enveloped her. Are you alluding to separation? What else awaits in the shadows beyond? Her fingers glided softly over her cheek. I longed for us to embark on a journey side by side. I gently interjected, "There's simply no way." The intricate ballet of feelings frequently finds the heart caught in a struggle between two spirits, each worthy of unwavering affection. Nevertheless, the reality persists that this bond may give rise to silent suffering and yearning. That does not capture the true essence of love. She turned her eyes away, enveloped in contemplation. I exhaled, a breath heavy with emotions left unsaid. I shall collect my possessions and seek a new refuge for the time being. We shall defer our discussion of the lawyers to a later occasion. Her voice hung in the air, stopping me in my tracks as I approached the bedroom. "Jack, I sincerely lament the events that transpired." I chose to hold my tongue. The process of preparing to leave proved to be far more arduous than I had ever expected. Every drawer, every closet, and each piece of furniture murmured the tale of our intertwined path. It transcended the mere end of my marriage. It seemed as though the very fabric of my being was gradually coming apart at the seams. Upon reaching the midpoint, I felt an overwhelming urge to pause, collapsing onto the bed, my hands quivering with an undeniable intensity. How had it brought us to this point? Logan occupied my mind, an enduring figure I found impossible to dismiss. Could this have been his intention all along? Had he been waiting for the ideal moment to arrive? Was the event fated to unfold in this manner all along? I cast a fleeting look at my phone. The silence stretched between us, an expanse brimming with unvoiced thoughts, igniting a deep desire for comprehension and closeness. I simply could not let that slip by without acknowledgement. With meticulous care, I finished packing, arranged my bags in the truck, and set off towards his apartment, a sense of eager anticipation swelling within me. Logan swung the door open with remarkable speed, as though he had been anticipating my arrival all along. He seemed utterly unperturbed. I clenched my hands at my sides. "It is time for us to engage in a dialogue." Logan stepped aside, his gesture a soft invitation for me to enter. His apartment was pristine, almost unnaturally so, as if he had channeled all his energy into crafting a distraction for himself through the meticulous arrangement of his environment. He gestured toward the couch, offering a chance for closeness. "Jack, I can feel the tempest brewing inside you." I cut the ties that bound us. The intensity of my emotions remains largely unscathed by irritation. Logan exhaled softly, his fingers delicately weaving through his hair. "It was never my intention for events to take such a turn." A gentle, bittersweet chuckle escaped my lips. "Oh, is that truly the case? What was your vision for how this would unfold?" He remained suspended in a haze of doubt. "I find myself in a state of uncertainty. He exhaled gently. "Jack, I feel an undeniable pull towards her." My jaw tightened gently. "Oh, is that so? Does that truly give you the right to pursue her as if she were yours to possess?" Logan's face bore the weight of a profound, unvoiced grief. "Claiming her was never my intention. He exhaled gently, the breath hanging in the air. The veil over my emotions had finally lifted, revealing their profound depths. I softly shook my head, a tide of disbelief sweeping through me. 20 years have slipped by, a stretch of time to discover the right expressions, to release the past, and to welcome the path that lies before us. Did you choose to hold off until Rachel departed before seizing the chance to reveal your feelings to Gina?" His visage twisted in a myriad of emotions. "That is not how it unfolded." "Then," I implored, "share your thoughts with me. How was the experience?" Silence envelopes the air. A gentle laugh escaped my lips, laced with a hint of incredulity. "That was the impression I gathered." Logan inhaled deeply. "I recognize that you might be experiencing a deep sense of dislike for me right now." "I hold no animosity towards you, Logan," I whispered gently. "My heart is filled with profound empathy for you." His brows furrowed, a quiet testament to the tumult of feelings churning inside him. "The moment for your opportunity has slipped away. The event unfolded long ago, fading into the recesses of memory. Instead of cherishing the connection that Gina and I forged, you sowed seeds of doubt in her mind. You influenced her at a vulnerable time in our marriage. Yet, Beneath the surface, we recognize that this is not the resolution we desire. Logan experienced a tightness in his throat. What follows next? I exhaled, sensing the gravity of the moment hang palpably in the atmosphere. Is this the appropriate time? She embraced her decision. His expression softened, unveiling a profound depth of emotion. I approached the door, pausing briefly before my hand found the handle. I gently urged, "Just keep it in mind, Logan. No matter what happens next, you have broken this apart. This moment bears the marks of your actions, and should she seek you out, you will bear the burden of having transformed a connection to bring it to life." I allowed the silence to stretch, refraining from pursuing a response. I ventured into the open air, the door sealing shut with a resolute thud at my back. For the first time in 2 decades, I found myself wrapped in a deep sense of solitude. And Gina stood at a pivotal juncture, her heart murmuring with the promise of new horizons. The return from Logan's apartment was enveloped in a serene quietude. The air is thick with silence. The stillness wraps around you, echoing deep within, enabling you to feel the immense gravity of everything that exists in your vicinity. Uncertainty enveloped me as I pondered what I genuinely expected from him. A sincere recognition? What is the rationale behind this? Is there perhaps a whisper of yearning? Nevertheless, Logan had discovered a serene acceptance of his choices. What is the situation with Gina? She remained in the midst, ensnared in a fleeting moment of doubt, reluctant to make a decision. Yet, I found myself unable to remain in a state of eager expectation. As I pulled into the driveway, I caught sight of Gina on the front porch, her arms softly wrapped around herself. Her eyes bore the burden of countless sleepless nights, reflecting a haunting vision of her, my cherished one. How could the woman I had treasured for 20 years seem so lost and delicate? It almost stole my breath. Just as I felt my breath slipping away, the purpose of her presence illuminated my mind with startling clarity. As I stepped out of the truck, she stood up with a poised sense of urgency. "Jack," I lifted my hand with a soft grace. "That will be sufficient, Gina. Let us cast aside the confines of language. I trust we have thoroughly explored the reasons at hand. The moment has come for us to bid farewell." Her expression softened, unveiling a profound depth of emotion. "I long for the opportunity to extend our journey side by side. You have already embarked on that journey." My voice carried a gentle strength, unwavering in its clarity. Her eyes glistened with unfallen tears. "That is not accurate at all. My heart belongs to you, Jack. Nevertheless, your heart harbors a profound fondness for him too." She trembled ever so slightly. "Do you sense the burden of that injustice?" I posed a question. It appears completely out of reach. "Would you kindly clarify whether you anticipate my acceptance of it? Do you truly believe I can behave as though this isn't fracturing my very essence?" She softly caressed her cheek with her fingertips. I imagined a scenario in which we might uncover a way to unite everything harmoniously. A gentle, bittersweet laugh escaped my lips. "What is it that awakens the depths of your being? Shall we embark on this journey together? I am responsible for Mondays and Wednesdays, whereas Logan handles the weekends. It is imperative to approach the situation with the utmost seriousness." She snapped, her voice quivering with fervor. "I cannot," I responded, "for that is precisely what you are asking of me. To welcome that which I find utterly unacceptable. And you see that I just cannot." She took a deep breath, savoring the sensation of the air expanding within her lungs. "Pray enlighten me, Jack. What is it that you truly seek?" I clenched my hands at my sides, summoning my courage before speaking the words I never thought would leave my mouth. "I wish to bring our partnership to a close." A wave of tension coursed through Gina's body, leaving her on edge. "No," she whispered gently. "Jack, I beseech you." I softly shook my head, a delicate sigh slipping from my lips. "I cannot stay in a partnership that leaves me feeling insufficient, where uncertainties haunt my thoughts, questioning if your mind wanders to another while you are by my side. I deserve far greater than this, and so do you, my beloved." She inhaled deeply. "The mere idea of existing without you is unbearable. This decision may not have been the most prudent." A gentle whimper slipped from her mouth as she concealed her visage behind her trembling hands. For the first time, I restrained my embrace. I found myself unable to do so. I turned my eyes to the door. I will seek out a temporary refuge as we journey through this together. She raised her eyes with an unexpected fervor. Linger a while more. Our eyes locked in a silent exchange. Certainly, I do. She held her tongue. She sensed the weight of my words echoing deep inside her. Before my departure, there remained one last spirit I had to meet. Olivia is our cherished daughter. At 21, she stood at the crossroads of her final year in college, enveloped in the bittersweet essence of fleeting moments. I longed for her to experience these moments intimately, rather than through the impersonal barrier of a phone call. As I reached her campus, a sense of anticipation enveloped me while I stood outside her dorm, savoring the moment. As she stepped into view, her face shone with joy, yet that brilliance faded upon meeting my gaze. "Father," she asked, her smile fading, "what weighs upon your heart?" I exhaled softly. "We have a significant matter that warrants our attention." Her eyes held mine for a fleeting moment. She offered a faint nod. "Very well." We tarried in a tranquil cafe nearby. I articulated my truth with clarity. She had arrived at a stage in life where the truth could echo deep within her being. As I finished, she lingered, entranced and without words. "Has mother discovered her heart captivated by another?" I offered a soft nod. "She conveys her fondness for every one of us." Olivia released a gentle, dismissive chuckle. "That does not capture the true essence of love." A nostalgic smile played softly at the corners of my mouth. "That is exactly what I conveyed." With a delicate touch, she wove her fingers through her hair. In this fleeting moment, words elude my grasp. I felt an undercurrent of something extraordinary between you two, yet I could never have foreseen this twist of fate. I shared that sentiment. Olivia's gaze softened with warmth. "How do you find yourself feeling today?" With a deep inhalation, I steadied myself. "I will be." Her fingers glided over mine as she tenderly took my hand across the table. "No matter the situation, my heart remains with you." That almost broke my spirit. I bestowed upon her a soft nod. "I wished for you to be the first to hear this news." She released a gentle sigh. "What of her? What are her aspirations?" "She yearns to cling to the union." Olivia's brow knitted in contemplation. "Ought I to maintain Logan as a clandestine confidant?" I chose to hold my tongue. She let out a gentle sigh. "That doesn't appear to suit you, Dad." "I comprehend." She delicately shook her head, a tender expression gracing her features. Her thoughts revolved solely around her own desires. I opted for silence. "Is Logan genuinely aware of the effect this situation is having on you?" she asked gently. A gentle, hollow laugh escaped my lips. "My confidence in his feelings is wavering." Olivia clenched her jaw, a surge of intensity enveloping her. What a misguided decision. In the midst of turmoil, I discovered a reason to smile. "Can you feel that in me, too?" She offered a playful smile. "Certainly, I comprehend." As I stepped back into the house that night, a profound fatigue wrapped around me like a heavy cloak. Gina remained in the living room, a sense of anticipation enveloping her. Her voice, gentle and inviting, flowed as she spoke to Olivia. I offered a soft nod. She inhaled deeply. What did she say? She conveyed her unwavering support for me. Gina experienced a subtle twinge of unease. I set my keys down softly on the counter. "For the time being, I shall seek refuge in a hotel. We can address the lawyers at a later date." She hovered in a realm of doubt. "Must we move forward with this?" We shared a glance laden with significance. Soft tears cascaded down her cheeks. Still, she opted for silence. After days steeped in uncertainty, a gentle acceptance enveloped her, as though she had at last come to terms with the reality of the moment. This had come to its end. I collected my bags, allowing a wistful look to linger on the home we had built together, before stepping through the door. This outcome falls short of my expectations. Indeed, it was exactly what my heart yearned for. For the first time in what seemed like an eternity, a wave of freedom enveloped me. The hotel room was wrapped in a tranquil hush. The stillness wraps around the surroundings. The hallway is enveloped in silence. The kitchen stands in quietude, unbroken by the clamor of clattering dishes. The house stands silent, lacking the soothing essence of Gina's soft presence. There I stood, solitary with a suitcase, faced with the bittersweet reality that my marriage had come to a close. After 20 years, I discovered the experience of solitude for the first time. And yet, I experienced a sense of completeness in my own unique manner. A surge of relief enveloped me. The next morning, I found myself face to face with a lawyer. I hoped for this divorce to unfold with grace and clarity. I envisioned this divorce to transpire in tranquility, devoid of any upheaval, and to be marked by a serene farewell. Gina yielded to the magnetic force of her emotions. She had contacted me the previous night, her voice imbued with deep emotion. "I don't want this Jack," she murmured gently. "Still, your longing for him is unmistakable," I replied. Silence envelopes the air. It resonated profoundly within her being. I resolved to be authentic, to welcome my true self without any facades. As I sat opposite my lawyer, a torrent of emotions surged within me while I signed the initial documents that would mark the beginning of the end of our marriage. For the first time in weeks, a wave of relief enveloped me, granting me the freedom to fully embrace the moment. It was never my intention to encounter Logan again. A profound longing stirred within me, urging me to cast aside my past and welcome a fresh start. Yet, destiny had charted an alternate course. It was a serendipitous encounter, our paths intertwining in the most ordinary of settings, the grocery store. He extended his hand towards a bottle of wine, radiating a calmness that felt almost otherworldly for a person who had just dismantled a relationship spanning 2 decades. "Jack," he murmured, a look of surprise crossing his face. I held my gaze on him for a fleeting moment. In that instant, I discovered I was taking a step I had not summoned the courage to take since the unraveling began. A gentle smile played upon my lips. It unfolded effortlessly. It lacked severity. It was authentic. A deep understanding has dawned upon me. He had not claimed victory. Gina's selection of him did not suggest that he had taken anything from me. I had freed myself from a union that had ceased to hold significance in my life. Logan became close to someone who was emotionally vulnerable. "I wish for your happiness, Logan," I murmured, my voice calm and gentle. He shifted uneasily. I softly shook my head at Jack. "Unneeded. I must express that I have reached my breaking point with all that has transpired. I bear no ill will against you. I hold no resentment towards Gina. I am wholeheartedly embracing the journey that lies ahead." He looked at me, a flicker of confusion in his eyes, as if he thought I would hold onto my anger forever. Yet I discovered that I was not in that realm. A sense of liberation washed over me, and that instilled in him a more profound fear than my contempt ever could. A week later, I found myself once again in the company of Olivia. She had been making an effort to connect with me, checking in to see if I was okay. "You seem more radiant," she remarked, her gaze lingering on me as we shared a cup of coffee. A gentle chuckle slipped from my mouth. A fresh buoyancy stirs within my being. Her smile exuded a comforting glow. "Marvelous. You deserve that," I nodded, a profound sense of gratitude swelling within me for her steadfast support. My mother contacted me. Following a moment of silence, she revealed her truth, and I raised an eyebrow in reaction. She inquired whether I harbored any resentment toward her. A ripple of unease coursed through my being. "Would you be so kind as to repeat that for me?" Olivia released a gentle sigh. I conveyed to her that although I do not hold any animosity, I find it challenging to regard her actions with respect. I settled back in my chair, letting her words wrap around me like a warm embrace. "That resonates perfectly." Our eyes locked in a silent exchange. "She is profoundly discontented, Father. I can feel it." A wave of uncertainty enveloped me, rendering me momentarily at a loss for words. Despite everything that has unfolded, I felt no inclination to wish grief upon Gina. Nevertheless, I recognized that she had wholeheartedly accepted her choice. Thus, I too had experienced the same. As time drifted softly onward, the weight of the divorce began to take hold. It was fascinating to witness how quickly life revealed itself once I let go. I stumbled upon a new sanctuary, reconnected with beloved companions, and started to wholeheartedly embrace my journey for the first time in what seems like an eternity. One afternoon, as I meandered through the aisles of a bookstore, my mind adrift in contemplation, I suddenly bumped into another person. I offered my sincerest apologies. I pivoted, and a gentle breath of surprise slipped from my mouth. Her beauty shone brightly, enhanced by the warmth of her gaze and the soft arc of her smile. "It's perfectly fine," I murmured gently. She lingered for a heartbeat, her gaze wandering to the book nestled in my grasp. "Do you possess a fondness for narratives steeped in history?" A gentle chuckle slipped from my lips. "My heart is entirely yours, filled with love for you. How about you?" Her smile exuded warmth, captivating all who beheld it. Our dialogue meandered for nearly an hour, imbued with a sense of warmth and deep connection. She was known as Madeline, a newcomer to the town, having just set foot in its streets. After what seemed like an endless stretch of time, a soft warmth started to stir within my heart. Longing. It seemed that the final pages of my marriage were being written. Perhaps I had relinquished something I once thought would stand the test of time. Still, the tapestry of life wove on. Upon exiting the bookstore, a deep understanding enveloped me. Sometimes, what appears to be a conclusion is simply a graceful metamorphosis into something entirely fresh.